human being. So we say this is fanafillah.
Okay. So finally, a Sufi can know God or not? So.
He certainly knows God. I'm saying nobody else knows God than him, better than him. Because if he is not sure, there are three steps. First, you have a mental argument for God. Every literate, every Sufi passes through this torture. He goes through skepticism. He goes through all what Marxism tells you. He goes through logical positivists. He goes through skeptics of East and West, agnostics. He goes through all forms of denials. That's what our kalma also is. La ilaha illallah. Try to establish what is not God before you say there is God. And when we finish our argument, when we complete, we know there is no doubt left in our mind. And this search should be at the topmost level. Whether you are challenging or you are being challenged by the new Darwinian or the old Darwinian, whether you are being crossed by a logical positivist or anthropologist, we see all these skeptic points about God, and we say they are not wrong people. They have raised the right kind of questions, and we try to know the validity and truth of those questions, and then we answer them back. We have more powerful arguments. So when we get out of this ordeal of curiosity, we say there is no doubt in my mind there is God, and then we try to get closer to Him. That's mysticism. That's mysticism. Once we have found God, once we are very sure about God, when there is no doubt left about His existence in my heart, when I've analyzed every criticism against God, and I've got over it, I've solved this old sphinx, then I go ahead and say, now Almighty Lord God, now that I've found you, I like to be with you. That's mysticism. Another start.
We can say the relationship between God and the world and with man.
As I told you before, is that we did not create this world. And we have not come out of an accidental combination of amino acids. It was meant to be so. You see, the sun would not have been at such a place if it had not been set by God. We say about 10 million around this, it would have burnt us up. And 10 million years beyond, it would have frozen us. So moon, all these constellations, the placings, they are not accidental. They have been set to create a life belt in this universe, in which a special experiment was done by Almighty Allah to create human beings. And then not only to create, He gave us something very extraordinary. I believe Allah we are like robots, you see. We are all like robots. And He created so many numerous, kinds of robots. Unlimited numbers, you see. We have 1.3 million sorts of creation on earth. There could be 13 million ants in the skies also. Different sorts of creativity He has been doing. Then He thought, I need somebody special. I should give him a choice. Because He gave choice to nobody. Not to people, not to jinns, not to angels. He thought, this is what I force on them. Things believe in me as God because they have no other option. So He made a decision to give somebody an option whether he believes in me or not. And for that He created a very special instrument. And that's what we call our mind, our thinking process. He gave us thinking, He gave us mind and apparatus. And then He gave us the choice. Do you believe in me or do you not believe in me? You see, that's a classic maneuver which God made with human beings. And in lieu of that choice, He made us more superior than anybody else in God's earth, you see. So He gave us the superiority over the rest of the things. And then He gave us a credit. Even if you made a little effort and you reach the recognition, you will be awarded, you see. Somewhere in the skies or somewhere in the universe you will be awarded a reign over my very special utopia that's called heaven, you see. There are other contenders also. Angels thought they deserved that utopia, and jinns thought they deserved that utopia. But ultimately the man was chosen for that utopia, which is called Jannat. Jannat is not imaginary. As we know, immensity of the universe around us, billions and trillions of stars, it's not a simple idea. If you look at the mountains when the green streak comes, and we know it is emerald in this mountain, you can always suppose after 15 more billion years perhaps this whole mountain will turn into emerald. Similarly, there could be stages, places in the universe in which the whole mountains could be of emeralds. The ground could be very different. It's all combination. We have been given days. He could create much finer places up there. So nothing is imaginary. What people thought, there may be, it must be an idea, Jannat may be an idea, Dozakh may be an idea. Yeah, heaven or hell is not an idea. They are not imaginary creations. God doesn't tell a lie. When He tells you you have to go there, you have to go there. These are the chosen pathways. And when you end up your life, you go those paths. If you have discovered the truth in reality, you have another way. It's like, you see, the pub and people come from outside, they put them in quarantinas because they are afraid they may not have brought something, big disease around in this earth. They are poor, they are examined, and there they are brought out. Similarly, you see, we are put in the graves. It's kind of a quarantina. It's a gateway to the higher galaxies beyond us, you see. The squeezed time of 70 years and ultimate goes to the billions and trillions. So the way is very clear. It is well understood means and matters. But the job is also very clear. Over here, all these things you do and you enjoy, and you don't say we live once. We only die once over here. If we are dead, we are dead. If we have learnt our lessons, we are not dead at all. So we live for centuries, not for centuries, for trillions of years. Unimaginable vastness of life is ahead. So nobody should take this life casually, only for life. They should understand they have a big choice to live eternally or to die eternally, or to burn eternally, or to suffer eternally.